going on, guys? Trevor back again with another video, and today, guys, we are here to talk about the draft analysis for the new league that I am in, the P.W.L, Pokemon Winter League. And basically, the P.W.L is a draft format league. It's the first one I've ever done. It's actually like the second league I've ever done in competitive battling. I don't have that many experiences with competitive battling. The ABL was actually the first competitive battling scene I've got into, so it was actually a pretty new experience with the draft format. And in the PWL, I'm going to be repping the Juneau Ninetales in the PWL, and PWL is actually the minor league, I guess, since I joined late, and the PSL is the upper league, so Pokemon Summer League, which is that what they're called. So just to keep going on with the theme, named us Winter to be opposite. And in the league, they have different divisions in the PWL. There's the Akala, Ula, Melee, and the Pawnee division. Yep, that's the one. And I'm pretty sure I'm in the Pawnee division. So yeah. And for the draft, I was actually put at the bottom for the draft. So every other draft, I would be first or last. That's basically it, which would be good in some cases, but bad in others. Like Pokemon that gets sniped from me a lot. I didn't get sniped that many times. I got sniped twice, which is okay, but the first time it did mess up my whole draft. And then for the first tier that we did draft for, we drafted for the S tier, which is 1 per team. And they did have different tiers. I forgot to mention that. My bad though. But for the S tier, I did get sniped. I was gonna go for Manaphy, and then all of my backups got picked as well. So, and then I was looking at them and I was wondering, which Pokemon has not got picked yet? And to my surprise, Landorus Therian did not get picked. And I was looking, I was kind of confused of why Landorus has not got picked yet. Since Landorus Therian is actually a pretty bulky offensive Pokemon, and gets very decent moves, and Intimidate boost as well, which lowers their attack. If you guys don't know that, pretty sure you guys know that. And I can actually run very different sets, where there's like a defensive set, I can go to an offensive set. There's a lot of different ways I can use this. And Landorus does counter a lot of Pokemon with Megazord X, Tyranitar, Lopunny, and it basically just checks them off. But you know, Landorus is weak to ice a lot, so that's basically a big problem with him. And Landorus Therian, he gets a lot of different moves. You can check off a lot of stuff with him. And so I picked him because, just looking at, just saw him, I picked him. All my other picks got picked, and he is actually pretty good. He's a decent Mon, not a bad Mon at that. So I picked him. It's good, I guess. He is going to be helping out a lot on the team with his Intimidate and his high attack and defense. And his speed is actually kind of high. His special attack is decent as well. And then for the next Pokemon that we drafted the Mega Pokemon. And I was first for drafting Mega, and I got a pretty decent Mega. I picked up Mega Pinsir, which I've seen it done a lot of work. And it's got a boost in its speed, special defense, special attack, defense, and attack. And its attack is like off the charts. His defense is pretty good as well. His speed is also up there. Special defense, it's okay. It's not the best, but it's still decent. And with the ability Aerialate, it does help a lot with Pinsir. And it does hit hard, as you saw with the Gunnigan Slowkings in the ABL with Nathan. Is a huge threat at the most. And that Pinsir does get the moves like Sword Stance, which even powers up its offensive threat and makes it even more of an offensive threat with it. And gets stab moves, since now the normal type moves get brought up to flying type moves. And it does check off a lot of Pokemon in the metagame. It's the fast hitting Pokemon, and it takes out a lot of Pokemon that have been added. The new Megas, like Lopunny, Sceptile, and Beedrill. But the only downside of having Pinsir is that it's very weak to rocks. That's the only downside to him, but we can work with him. I can get him, we just need to send him in safe and sound. Need to find a absolutely perfect time to send him in, and I'm pretty sure he will do work. And in the next tier that we did, we did tier 1, and I was last. I was basically trying to get the scraps, and my whole draft got messed up after that point, since all of my stuff, and I needed to get another different Pokemon, since Manaphy got picked in the S tier. So the next Pokemon I picked for the tier 1 is Rotom Wash, and I was actually pretty surprised that he did not get picked for, beforehand, since, you know, it's pretty good Mon in OU. It has good defenses and good special attack, and it has Levitate to get rid of its ground weakness. Water, so it can, you know, it has the water type to take out of the rock, ground, and types like that. Fire, electric too, to take out any other threat like water types. I mean, it's just a pretty good Pokemon. It's definitely and with it gets access to Will-O-Wisp, so it can actually weaken some of the more physical Pokemon like Machamp. Does he? I'm probably not Machamp. I think he gets, you know. And since how Rotom is a bulky Pokemon and it can actually dish out hits pretty decently, I think it'll be pretty good in my tier. It's definitely a great Pokemon to grab with the Stab Electric and Stab Water to take out possible threats like Mamoswine, Landostherian. Even though this Landostherian isn't, you know, in here, I have him, but still, it was a pretty good pickup. And Rotom, I needed him because I needed a water type and an electric type, so 2-in-1 gets boom done, so that's good to me. So next we had tier 2, and for the tier 2 I drafted Entei, which Entei is it's actually a pretty good fire type Pokemon with its attack. It's amazing physical attacker. Its speed is decent, and I needed a fire type to counter the ice type weakness that I had on the team. So, and what other better fire type than Entei? I mean, it has massive bulk and gets access to Sacred Fire, which is one of the most beneficial attacks in the game, with its stab boost coming from it, and its 50% chance to burn even. Its base 100 speed doesn't allow it to outspeed most of the common walls like Chestnut and Cresselia, and this basically makes it one of the most threatening wall breakers in the tier that is in UU. And when you put Choice Band on it, it powers up its moves even more. Flare Blitz, gets access to Flare Blitz, Stone Edge, Extreme Speed, Sacred Fire, adds on Choice Band and Adamant Nature. It's gonna hit hard, and it has a nice attack. I mean speed. It has it's amazing speed, base 100, and it can hit hard and fast. The next tier that we did was tier 3. And the Pokemon, I needed a flying type. I needed a Defogger to get rid of the hazards for Landorus, Entei, and the Pinsir, the rocks and stuff. So I drafted Braviary, which is it's a good Defogger. It has a decent speed stat with 80, and its attack is amazing with 123, and Braviary is actually one of the best stall breakers, since very few Pokemon, you know, have a defensive arc types that can break through its bulk and faster than it, faster than it. Defiant. It also gets the ability Defiant, which basically raises its stats if it gets hit by any super effective move. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. Don't quote me on it. Yeah. It also gets like amazing offensive moves like Brave Bird and substitute bulk up Roost, which will heal up its damage from Brave Bird, and it's a pretty good Pokemon. It will help out a lot in the tiers and helping Pinsir get in safely without the Stealth Rocks coming out. Alright, for the next Pokemon next tier we have tier 4, which we had to draft 2 tier 4s, and I had some help on this, and for tier 4, my first tier 4 pick, I decided to get Steelix because I needed a Steel type to help out, and I needed a very defensive Pokemon to help out, and its typing, it can set up Stealth Rocks, which is amazing, and it does have a decent typing, and its defense is off the charts. Its attack is pretty good as well, HP is too, and it does get decent moves that can help out with its stab with Stealth Rock. It gets that so he can set up rocks and hopefully cripple his team. Just get some early chip damage off of his Pokemon. Heavy Slam, which is a nice Steel type move that can help out Steelix. And then Earthquake, which is a powerful ground type move. It also gets Protect, which all Pokemon gets Protect, but Protect you can stall out Pokemon after you Toxic him. He does get Toxic. And it gets Sturdy ability. It gets decent abilities as well. With the other abilities, he gets Rockhead and Sheer Force, which are pretty good in that case. And as I said, Steelix is pretty bulky. And then for the next tier 4 pick, that one did get sniped from me. I was gonna draft the Venusaur because I need to finish off my Grass, Fire, Water trio, but Venusaur Sally got picked, and it was a pretty good Pokemon. But the next best bet I got was Vileplume, which Vileplume does its job decently, but Venusaur is better than Vileplume. But Vileplume still does basically the same thing, except a little bit weaker. It finishes off the Fire, Water, and Grass, and it has pretty good stats with 90 special defense, 85 defense, and 110 special attack. Its abilities are pretty decent with Chlorophyll and Effect Spore, and Vileplume is a good defensive pivot thanks to its typing and with its solid defensive, so it can sends it out in recovery with its Giga Drain and Moonlight, which will help heal up her defenses, her, whatever. And it does get decent moves as well with Sleep Powder, Hidden Power Fire to get rid of the other grass and poison types and other ice types. Worry Seed, Sleep Powder, you can just, check off Pokemon with that. Moonlight, he gets, which will heal up its HP, and it does get decent stab moves. I don't know why I'm getting flustered right now. I don't understand. My bad. And with the Effect Spore, it's a great ability for it, which will punish its contact move contact Pokemon with like Primeape, Hitmonchan, Tauros, Hariyama, and we give them a cripple, except if it's Hariyama, it has guts and it gets burned or poisoned, which wouldn't be good. Alright, and then for the next tier, we have tier 5, and I was looking at tier 5, I had somebody else helping me look through tier 5, and then we saw this Pokemon, and he was flipping out because he was so confused why this Pokemon was so low in the tiering system. It's amazing Pokemon with its attack and defenses pretty high, and the Pokemon I picked is Escavalier, and we saw it as, why is this Pokemon so low in this tier? It's amazing Pokemon. It's a great Steel type. It's a great Bug type as well. It's high defense. It's high attack as well. And we didn't even know why it was that low. And Escavalier has solid typing and Bolt to check like Psychic type Pokemon in its tier, the OU tier, and has average. It does have an average move pool, but it can perform, multiple roles on the team, such as like an Assault Vest tank, a Choice Band Wall Breaker, and a late game sweeper with Swords Dance. The only bad thing about Escavalier is its speed stat, and how the common fire types are pretty fast for Escavalier. And they do resist Escavalier stab moves, but that's why you need to send him on in specific situations. And it does get great stab moves like Megahorn, Iron Head, and it also gets Pursuit, Knockoff, and Drill Run, which is amazing. And now onto the free tiers. For the free tiers, we had 500 points to draft a Pokemon, and I didn't get any extra points due to my Mega and it was being tier 1. They gave no points if you have tier 1. And I was looking at the Pokemon. I was thinking to myself, I think I need a normal type. I have good checks for the normal type, which will be fine. And the first normal type that I see, and it's only costs like 53 points, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good Pokemon as well. It's a normal type. I draft Zangoose, which has a decent attack, decent speed as well. It gets Toxic Boost, immunity as well, the abilities, and it's in a NU format. Gets decent moves with Fat Kid, Knockoff, Close Combat, and Quick Attack with the Toxic Orb, which will help it out with its toxic boost. And the adamant nature or the jolly nature will help it a lot. And this thing is pretty fast. It'll hit kind of hard, but not that hard. And yeah, it's a good Pokemon to have on the team. It's a nice normal type to have, not very bulky, just a nice fast hitter. And then for my next free tier that I had 450 points left. And I was, 450? Yeah, 450. So I looked over and I saw that Kyurem hasn't been picked. So I was like, okay, I'll draft Kyurem. Kyurem just got picked. He got sniped right from me. So the next best bet I have was Komodo. And I might have drafted Flygon, but I had too many ice weaknesses anyway, so like too many 4x ice weaknesses. And Komodo was the second best bet. It does give the fighting type as well, which helps out with the ice types. Its attack is decent. Its defense is like amazing. I didn't notice this, but its defense is pretty good. Speed is decent. This thing is like overall a nice bulky threat, and you can run it physical or special. Its abilities is amazing with soundproof, overcoat, and bulletproof. And you know, Komodo is a decent dragon type in RU, you know, with this dragon and fighting stab boost. And its bulk is amazing. Powerful dragon moves like Clinging Scales, Focus Blast that gets that Flamethrower and Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, and with choice specs, it'll just eat through teams like that with a special hitter. But you know, I can run it as a physical hitter as well, with moves like Bulk Up, Brick Break, Counter, Dragon Tail, stuff, moves like that. I can run it as a physical attacker, even though it doesn't get that many physical moves, but I can run it both ways. It'll definitely mess up some people. So for my next one, I was thinking I need a poison type, and I was looking. I didn't want to spend that many free points. I was looking tier 5, and I was looking. And I saw Garborder. I was like, okay, I can draft Garborder. It's pretty decent, nice bulky poison type. But then it got taken. Then I looked at Haunter. Then that one got taken. So the last poison type, it was the only other option was Seviper. And I know it was a bad idea having Seviper and Zangoose on the same team, but I needed a poison type to set up some toxic spikes and stuff. And he does have pretty good attack and special attack. I can run a mixed with him, with Seviper. His speed, every other stat can be good, upped a little bit, but it does get some decent stab moves with Sludge Wave, and then other moves that can help it out with like Giga Drain, Flamethrower, Earthquake, or Sucker Punch. Life Orb would be pretty good on him with Shed Skin, the ability, and I think that'll probably be way better for Seviper. He does get pretty decent moves. So my last free tier pick, I had about 100 points left, and I was looking at tier 4, and I saw Zoroark, and I said to myself, I can have fun with this. With its Zoroark with his illusion ability, it'll be so fun to mess with people, and he has decent, amazing special attack, awesome speed, awesome attack. His defense is a little bit weak, HP is a little bit weak too, but you know, it's very unique. Zoroark is it is a threat. It'll be huge, and like you won't know what Pokemon's gonna be sent out. If it's Zoroark or another Pokemon like Landorus, Rotom, so it will help out a lot, and it breaks through a lot of Ghost type Pokemon like Doublade, Ranunculus, Bronzong, or Gengar at that. And it does get some decent moves with Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, Sludge Bomb, and U-Turn. And I have decided that I am going to have Zoroark as my Z carrier, since it will mess up a lot of people and how diverse its moveset is. And I think that'll be an amazing asset to our team. Zoroark, I'm so ready to use him, and I'm so ready to trick people. It's going to be so fun using him. So there you guys go. That is my draft for this P.W.L. Hopefully you guys do like my draft, and hopefully you guys do root for me for the P.W.L. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I do see myself doing a little bit better than the ABL, since I'm a little bit more of a competitive battler. I'm really looking forward to using this team. there's not that many things I don't like about this team. It's pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with it. So make sure you guys stick tuned for the first week battle. I think it should be uploaded on July 1st. So I don't know if I'm supposed to allow to say that, but you guys get a sneak peek. That's what's happening. And I am gonna be doing team building videos right before. So watch out for them on Saturdays right before the battle. So yeah, guys, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to like button, subscribe for more, and root for me in the P.W.L. Make sure you leave some comments and tips for me in the comments below. And I'll see you guys all later. Have a nice day, guys, and goodbye.